one more down so it's more of a chill, relaxed vibe in here this morning. Look at that. We're chilling, dog. We need to be on the beach, man, with some freaking margaritas. I don't even drink, guys. Give me a coffee. Give me a coffee. Why is it that anytime you think of being on the beach, you think that you have to have a margarita in your hand? Like, I can enjoy being on the beach without a margarita. As a matter of fact, I probably would enjoy being on the beach without a margarita. I'd enjoy it even more. It's just a fact. I would enjoy being on the beach more if I didn't have a margarita in my hand. Pinzaroo, welcome to the Guts and Glory Show. Holy shit, guys. Episode number 4. Episode number 4. Episode number 4. Episode number 4. We made it, guys. We made it. Guts and Glory Show. Episode number 4 is coming up, boys and girls. Thank you so much. We have some really cool stuff to talk about. Pin Zero, welcome in. Michelle Brown, good morning, good morning, good morning. We have some awesome stuff to talk about. And today, guys, I want to do more of an effort to bring you guys into the show and have questions, exchanges, dialogue, conversation, all these things. So hold me accountable to that. I'll hold myself accountable to that. But, you know, it's only the 4th episode. So I'm learning how to balance actually making it a productive conversation and then also making sure that we're engaging everybody in the chat. So you guys got to come in and say, hey, man, I feel this way. I disagree. I agree. Whatever it's going to be, guys. But anyways, this is the 4th episode, episode number 4 of the Guts and Glory Show. We're going to get right into it in a second, guys. First of all, can we get a gut check? How is everybody feeling? Scale of 1 to 10. Drop it in the comments. How are you feeling today? Good morning. Happy Friday. It's not Friday, guys. It's not Friday, chat. It's not Friday. We can think it's Friday. I think it's Friday on a Monday morning. There's no problem with that. I don't believe that there's an issue. I don't think anybody has an issue with thinking that it's Friday on a Monday morning. That's right. Okay, scale of 1 to 10, gut check. How are we feeling, boys and girls? Drop it in the chat. Let me know. We have, let's play the Guts and Glory theme song to open up. Should we do that, guys? Should we start opening up with the Guts and Glory theme song? Or is that cheesy? Nothing's cheesy in 2026, just so we all know, guys. Nothing is cheesy. Don't let anybody think that you're being cheesy. Dude, it's time we start loosening up and having fun in life again and disregard what people say or think about us. We are human beings. We have one life on this fucking earth to live. We better fucking live it. One time you go around this thing. One time. One time we play the game of life. We should start living it. All right, guys, here's the deal. Chat, it's episode number 4 of the Guts and Glory Show. We got 3 awesome topics that we're going to talk about today. And as you guys know, let me plug my laptop in. I never have the freaking laptop plugged in. Again, scale of 1 to 10. How are we feeling in the chat? Drop it down, guys. Let me know what the dealio is. All right, number 1, guys. Japan. Japan is the healthiest country in the entire world. It's top 3 at least. There's like Japan, Singapore, I think, and Taiwan. Damn, dude, these flies are atrocious. Japan, Singapore, and Taiwan. So we're going to talk about Japan and the things that they do. Sarah said, when you wake up, do you make your bed? That's a great question. When I wake up, I make my bed first. And then I go to the toilet, and then I brush my teeth, and then I take a shower, and then I shave in that order. So it goes make bed, toilet, brush teeth, shower, shave, and then I'm out, man. And then I'm out. I'm on the road. I'm going after that. Okay, so we're going to talk about Japan. How are they one of the healthiest countries in the entire world, guys? And we'll break down the stats, why we're saying that, why most people believe or agree that Japan is one of the healthiest countries in the world. What do they do for exercise? What are the foods that they consume? What's the diets of the Japanese? What are they eating? You know, questions like that. What are they putting in their body and on their body? Cultural differences. How do they live their life? What's their values? What are their priorities in life? I find it interesting that a lot of other countries that might be on paper healthier than America, maybe they have lower depression rates, lower anxiety rates, and they're just overall healthier. They got lower obesity rates, they're more active. I find it very interesting that they also end up having very big cultural differences. They have different values. They value things differently than America. And typically those values end up, and we're going to get into this, but typically those values end up being like, they value family more. They value slowing down. They value conversations a little bit more than we do as Americans. We're always on the go. And I'm not knocking America. I'm just saying that we're always in a rush. We're always talking about how to make more money and things like that. We need to talk more about slowing down. Slowing down a little bit would be great. Can we get a mic check? Can you guys hear me okay? Are we doing okay on the audio? Are we doing decent on the audio, or do we need to fix something, guys? You guys let me know. Actually, I'm going to do this real quick before we even go any further. I've got I usually hook up a microphone so we can not have any disruptions, guys. Chat, everybody in the chat right now, if we can find one person in the chat to say hello to, say good morning. Just welcome somebody new. Some of you guys, if you've been in here before, you might recognize some faces, but say hello, say good morning to somebody else in the chat. Pick their username, at them, say good morning, and wish them health and wellness in 2026, guys. Hang on, let me get this mic set up, and then we're rocking and rolling, chat. Guts and glory, that's the way we live. Guts and glory. Guts, it's in my head now, guys. It's in my freaking head, chat. All right, guys. How's that, chat? How's that? Mic check, 1, 2 ski. What it do ski? How we looking? All right, Cassidy, that should be better now. I got the mic up. Thank you for being in here, Cass. Good morning, baby. That's the wife, guys. Video said, always in a rush. I take my time coming home from work, and you got these idiots that are flying past me just to make it to the red light. Yeah, somebody tell me where the hell everybody's trying to get to. Where are you guys trying to get to going 85 miles an hour down the highway on a random Sunday morning? I don't fucking get it. I do not get it. I don't know why everybody is in a rush in America these days. Where the hell are you guys going? Because I did not get the invite. We got to slow down. We got to slow down on the freaking roads. It's ridiculous, man. I'm the guy, Michael, I'm the guy in the right lane going 13 miles an hour, dude. I'm not in a rush. I don't care if I'm 20 minutes late to wherever I have to be, guys. I live my life one red light at a time. That's my guy. That's my guy. Amber drives slowly. We got to start living one red light at a time. I love that, man. Because tell you what, guys, if you don't make it to the next red light, you donezo. You donezo. We all should live our life one red light at a time. All right, guys, so we're going to figure out how Japan gets so healthy. What do they do? What do they value? What do they eat? What is their exercise regime? We're going to find out all these things this morning, guys. The second topic that we're talking about this morning is, does coffee increase anxiety? I have my coffee here, and I can tell you guys, I don't feel like coffee, for me at least, increases anxiety, but I do hear a lot of people in the world say that coffee makes them very anxious. How many of you guys in the chat, does coffee make you anxious? Yes or no, guys? Because it's like morning time for most of us in America, and I'm assuming a good cup of coffee is in your hand. Video Games said yes and no, only if you overdo it. 2 days ago, I had 3 cups of coffee. 3 cups. Amber, coffee does not make you anxious. Does coffee make you guys anxious? Yes or no in the chat. So what we'll do in that conversation is we'll find out actually what is anxiety. We'll break it down a little bit, and we'll do some research on that. And then say, what does coffee do to the brain and the system? We're going to find out what it actually does to our body. And then we'll come up with a verdict at the very end and see if we all agree on things. But, the whole point of this show, guys, we're going in the direction now. This is the 4th episode. We've been doing this show since Monday this week. It's been a freaking great turnout. Every day there's more people in here, and there's some regulars coming back. Thank you guys so much, man. But this is the fourth day, and we're realizing that, hey, let's make this show, and I'll always take your guys' input too, but let's make this show more of like a curiosity adventure that we can go and find out. Because I don't want to sit here and preach or teach or get out of my realm. One thing that I really enjoy is just being naturally curious. And, you know, doctors and experts and professionals say a lot of things, but not a lot of regular everyday people actually go and do the research to figure out if what the heck they're saying has any basis or foundation to be said. So that's one thing that we'll do, but we'll also kind of just look at lifestyle in general. Like when we talk about Japan this morning and the things that they do to get healthy, we're not going to talk about medicines or, you know, all these mumbo jumbo crazy fucking science words. We're just going to look at what they eat, the foods they eat, how they move, do they dance, do they sing, do they drink red wine, all these things that you know, lifestyle choices that can make you feel amazing. So that's the show, the direction it's going to go in today. Welcome in, guys. Before we even get started this morning, can we all make sure that we stay hydrated and drop coconuts in the chat? Coconuts in the chat. Video game said good food, good mood, whole food all day. Bentley Cleveland, welcome back, Bentley. Welcome back, Bentley. Guys, it's coconuts in the chat. Help me out, guys. Everybody drop coconut emojis in the chat this morning. And thank you to anybody pressing the like button, guys. We have 5 likes. Make that number say 10. Guts and Glory. And anybody subscribing to the channel, thank you guys for joining the Guts and Glory tribe and welcome in. And once you sub, guys, once you sub to the channel, come back in the chat and say subbed this morning so I can thank you and welcome you to the family. Stank Nasty is dropping coconuts in the chat. Guys, we need more coconuts. We need más coconuts. We cannot begin until we have at least 10 coconuts in the chat. We need coconut emojis in the chat right now. It's a problem. It's a problem, guys. I'm parched over here. We need, no. Guys, we need coconuts in the chat. We need coconut emojis in the chat. Guys, all right, YouTube. Christy's dropping coconuts. Thank you, Christy. Guys, we can begin the show, but we need 10 coconut emojis in the chat, boys and girls. We got to stay hydrated, guys. We got to stay hydrated. No. We need the coconut. We need the coconut. We need the nut, boys and girls. We need the nut, not the tree video game. We need the nut. We need hydration straight from the nut. That's how I like it, okay? I want a busted nut. I want hydration from a busted nut. That's how I want to get hydrated, guys. Video games dropping the coconuts. That's how we all should get hydrated, guys. Without nut busting, we have no hydration. Without busted nuts, we have no hydration. Okay. All right, guys. All right, it's just true, man. It's true. All right. Without busting nuts, we are not hydrated. All right, guys. The first topic this morning, for those of you that don't know, Japan in recent years, not even recent years, in how long has Japan been a super healthy country? You know, this is a dumb question because it's probably from the beginning of time. I would assume that they've had a reputation for being a very healthy country. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down on, we have to like identify things. So we say that Japan is one of the healthiest countries in the world, and I think the internet kind of agrees with that. But why? Right? Like what stats, what factors are we actually breaking it down on, okay? So Japan has been recognized as one of the world's longest lived and healthiest countries since around 1980. I didn't realize that would be the case. Following a dramatic rise in life expectancy that began after 1965. So I thought it would have been like, dude, I thought it would have been hundreds of years that they've been that healthy. But apparently they're having a good little run here recently. From worst to first place. Okay, so apparently they were not healthy a while ago. I don't know where I got the impression. I just was guessing, video game. I don't know, man. Okay, so the 1960s, Japan actually had the shortest average life expectancy among the G7 major industrialized countries, so like the top countries, whatever the hell G7 stands for. Yeah, I don't think sumo wrestlers are in Japan, guys. Sumo wrestler countries. Wait, where the hell are sumo wrestlers from, guys? Oh, Japan! Japan has the home of the sumo wrestler. Can we all do our quick sumo wrestler stance real quick? Okay. For those of you that don't know. The 1960s, Japan actually had the shortest average life expectancy. High rates of stroke and stomach cancer drove these numbers down. So that's the reason back in the day. Yeah, it's getting weird in here, guys. It's getting weird in here, guys. Post-war turnaround. So the rapid post-war economic growth and major public health reforms transformed the nation. Japan introduced low-cost universal health insurance in 1961 and passed crucial preventative health laws in 1956. So it seems like around the 50s, 60s, post whatever war they had. Sorry, guys, I'm not a history buff. I don't know what war happened in 1960 Japan. If you guys know, drop it down in the chat. They started to take their health seriously. The 1980 milestone, driven by a shifting diet, okay, rich in fish and plant foods, active walking cultures, and widespread health screenings, Japan's life expectancy climbed rapidly, placing it at the top of global health rankings by 1980. Today, the country boasts near record numbers of citizens living past 100 years old. We're talking about Japan, guys. So let's do this. Let's say, what stats make Japan... Are you guys shaking a little bit? There's a fly on your head. I'm sorry. Okay. What stats make Japan the healthiest country in the world? Like, what are they actually healthy and winning in? Let's break it down, guys. Yeah, it is mirrored. I'm not quite sure. Hey, any regulars in the chat, guys, if you've been in the Guts and Glory show all week long, or even like a random day, Monday or Tuesday, you were here with us, you came back, this is your second time in this live stream on the Guts and Glory show this morning, please say reg in the chat, R-E-G. I'd love to see you guys. Japan ranks nearly the top of every global health metric, primarily due to its world-leading life expectancy, exceptionally low obesity rates, and efficient, low-cost, universal health care. So that's interesting. So America does not have low-cost universal health care, I would assume, right? Like, that's like, healthcare in America is very expensive. I mean, I'm paying a lot of money for me and my family's health. Like, it's expensive, guys. It's expensive. The core winning stats. So here's what Japan is winning in, guys. Yeah, Reese's Pieces said they don't have government cheese stamps. It's low cost with insurance, to be fair. Is this what low cost health insurance? Is that what health insurance is? Low cost? Shit's expensive, man. I guess that's low cost, though. I guess we got to be grateful for what we do have. All right, so here is what Japan is winning in across the world when it comes to health and wellness, guys. They are dominating in life expectancy. Japan consistently logs one of the highest overall life expectancies at birth in the world, hovering around 84.5 to 85 years old. Adult obesity rates, they have a very low obesity rate. Japan has one of the lowest obesity rates of any developed nation, with roughly 4 to 5% of adults classified as obese. Holy shit. 4 to 5% classified as obese. Now that I think about it, I ain't seen a fat Japanese person in a long time. It doesn't happen. I don't see fat Japanese people, guys. I just don't. So if Japan has an obesity rate of 4.5%, what is the obesity rate of the average American? Yeah. What's the American percentage, video game? Guys, oh my God. Oh my gosh. I love you, America. I love you guys. I love you guys so much, but I'm going to tell you right now, we are obese, guys. The average adult obesity rate in the United States is roughly 37 to 42%. Guys, let me say this again. Japan has an obesity rate of 5%. America has an obesity rate of close to 40%. That means that almost 1 out of every 2 Americans walking through Walmart are obese. Video game Luke, stay safe, stay healthy, man. There's reasons for this, guys. There's reasons for this. If you guys have any idea what it could be, drop it in the chat. Jazz Maniac said consume. The Fish Junkie said plastics. If you guys have any idea of why the hell America's obesity rate is 37% plus, drop your comments in the chat. I want to see, guys. All right, so their obesity rates are low in Japan. They also have healthy aging. Japan is home to nearly 100,000 centenarians, people that are aged 100 years or older, giving it one of the highest concentrations of older adults who maintain functional independence. The Fish Junkie said people are lazy in America. That could be some of it, I agree. Guys, Japan has the most people in the world that are living over 100 years old. There has to be correlations to things that they're doing and things that they're eating. Something has to be different. And I don't believe it's just the air. I don't believe it's just the air and the dirt that's different over there, guys. They also have low cardiovascular and cancer mortality rates. Japanese populations experience significantly lower death rates from heart disease and specific cancers, such as breast cancer and prostate cancer. How many of you guys know somebody in America, a family, a friend, maybe yourself, that has overcome breast cancer, prostate cancer, any kind of cancer? Do you guys know anybody that's gone through that? Video Game said healthy food is not expensive. I meal prepped for 4 days worth $10 a day. Guys, I do not believe healthy eating is more expensive than junk food, period. We talked about this on Tuesday. For those of you that were here on Tuesday, we talked a little bit about, I believe it was Tuesday, a little bit about how the whole argument and excuse that people are not eating healthy is because it's so much more expensive than junk food. That's bullshit. I'm just being honest, guys. And I think we can start to agree on that. You can go to Chick-fil-A and order food for a family of 4. It's you, your wife, or you got a husband, whatever the deal is, and you got 2 kids. That meal is going to be $60 plus, especially if they're getting those fat-ass oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, just being honest. And the ice cream cones, because you know the kids want the ice cream cones now. You're spending $60 to $70 at Chick-fil-A. If you go to the grocery store and you put $10 aside for 2 pounds of ground beef, you put $10 aside for a couple pounds of rice, and $10 aside for, veggies and fruits, you're walking out of there with days worth of food. So Video Game Luke said, no, steak is pricey though. Who the hell? We don't have to eat steak. Sorry, Video Game Luke. I wasn't yelling at you. I was just yelling at the fact of it, because everybody thinks that to be healthy, you have to eat a grass-fed ribeye, or you have to eat organic grass-fed chicken or not grass-fed ground beef and all these things. We do not have to eat the most expensive, pricey, organic foods to be healthy, guys. We can just eat white rice, some regular bananas and some cheap chicken, and that's much better than going to McDonald's. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree, guys? Jazz Maniac, I hope you get better, guys. I have Crohn's disease, guys. I got diagnosed when I was 11. The reason I'm so passionate and heated about these conversations is because I fought for my freaking life, man. When I was 11 years old, I had a bowel resection. They took out pieces of my stomach, pieces of my ileum, and I suffered for years, man. I lost like 40 plus pounds. It was terrible. So the reason we have these conversations is so people can not go through that same shit just by making a little bit better choices in lifestyle. Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease. It's like an autoimmune issue. It's a chronic illness you have for the rest of your life that you can either suffer with for the rest of your life, or you can make good decisions in lifestyle, diet, stress, sleep, and you can live a good life. And for the last 10 years, I've been fortunate, guys, through eating well, and we have a little homestead behind these doors. We're raising up sheep or lamb, turkeys, chickens, gardens. I have to do all of that just to fucking stay healthy. I enjoy it. I love it. It brings me joy. The lifestyle of being a homesteader is fantastic. But I tell you what, if I didn't have to, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't want to grow my own food and do all that stuff. I would much rather just sit on my porch, drink coffee, and not have to water the garden every day. Just saying. I'm forced to have to do that just to live a good life on this earth. And I think it's fucking ridiculous. So what else does Japan have? Let's get back on track. What else does Japan have stat-wise that puts them in the upper echelon of healthy countries? What else do they have, guys? They have healthcare cost efficiency, so it's affordable. Japan ranks at the top tier for quality, physician availability, and disease detection while spending drastically less per capita than countries like the US. So that tells me one thing. They have better health care. They have good quality physician availability and disease detection. That's like, they detect the diseases before they occur or before they take over the body. That's advanced stuff. And they have it at a much lower cost than we do in America. So, I don't know, man. Hey, some of you guys that are in the chat right now, can we all do a quick thing? I see a lot of comments coming through from people that are saying what kind of disease they have, what kind of chronic illness they have, some surgeries that they have coming on next week or in the next couple of weeks. Guys, I have a heart for people that are going through things health-wise, and I know we all do in this chat too. We have one of the best chats on the entire internet when it comes to these things. Can we please take a break from the show and put prayer hands in the chat for everybody that's going through something today or has been through something in the past or going through something in the future? Can we take a moment to just flood the chat with prayer hands right now, guys? Please, please, please. Just drop many, many prayer hands for anybody going through something, guys. Past, present, and future health problems. Prayer hand emojis in the chat. Load it up, boys and girls. That looks gorgeous, video game. That looks gorgeous. Jazz, Chris, Josh, thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys so much. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in manifesting things. And I believe that prayers and bringing hopeful attention to your health can change your freaking life, guys. Prayer hands in the chat. Prayer hands in the chat. Thank you, Chris. All right, that's the deal. It's not phony, JoJo. It's the real deal, man. I really believe in that, guys. So let's get into... now that we know the stats and what Japan is winning on right now, now that we know how Japan is getting healthy, how they're doing these things, let's go into what they do for diet. What does the Japanese diet consist of, and how are they living so damn long and healthy lives? How many of you guys have seen the Blue Zone show? How many of you guys have seen the Blue Zone show? It's like by Dan Buettner or something like that. It's a really, really cool show, guys. This guy travels the world and he went to Japan. He went to, I think it was Okinawa, Japan, and a couple different places. And he would go in these cultures, in these countries. He would visit locals, and he would find out the foods that they eat, the exercises that they do, what their culture practices are and their values. It's really cool. So he was kind of the first to expose like the diet of the Japanese, but we'll do it again. What the traditional Japanese diet consists of, guys: fish and seafood. So that's above red meat, above chicken, above pork. It almost looks like they barely eat any of the traditional proteins that Americans eat, which is very interesting. Fish and seafood. High consumption of fish provides lean protein and omega-3 fatty acids, replacing heavy red meat. So, oh yeah, no, they eat a lot more than just seafood, but we just began, so you got to give me a second. Fish and seafood is one of their main protein sources, guys. Rice and soy is what they eat kind of for carbs and things like that. Yeah, Josh, that happens to anybody that does anything in life. So I appreciate the comment. You're right. Blue zones face significant and debate regarding data. Yeah, I'm sure that happens with anything. Imagine all the experts and professionals that have given us information and facts and said something was right, and then years later we go through and realize it was all a lie. So we have to kind of there's a reason the Japanese are living much, much longer lives than everybody else. And we can say it's scientific scrutiny and debate back and forth. The fact is, though, they're living longer. Look at their citizens. You got 90-year-olds in Japan walking the streets, lean, energetic, full of clarity. Yeah, we don't have that so much in America. I can promise you that. I'm born and raised in this country, and any 90-year-old that I know in America is not doing that, on average. So while we can debate facts and say that, it's all a lie over there, we have to look at it at face. We got to get over, you know what, guys? We got to get over the fucking science, the data, the facts, the experts, all this bullshit, and start looking at things as human beings. Because we're all human beings. We have a heart. We have a freaking brain. And we've been living in a generation that tries to make us forget that we have a brain and we have a gut feeling and we have intuition, because the experts say that we're not qualified to even speak or know or think about anything. Well, I can look at our people, and I can look and walk through a mall, and I can see that 40% of them are obese and struggling to take one foot in front of the fucking other foot. And I don't have to be a doctor or a scientist or do any fucking research study to see that as a true observation. And there is a problem with that, and that should not be the case. And I hate it for those people. I hate it. But what I hate more than that is people that come in and say, well, the science says this, the data says this, or that might not be factually correct. Your facts are gone. Your facts are gone. What now? The data, the study, the research trial. We've been going off of data and study and research evidence for way too long, and it has put us in this predicament. Sorry, guys. That's just rant number 5 of the day. Rant number 5 of the day. Sorry, Andrew. Sorry. Because if I did everything that the data and the research studies and if I followed everything line for line in the textbooks, man, I'd be a lot sicker than I am today. And I feel fucking amazing. And I do a lot of stuff that's very opposite of what the research and the data says, baby. I do a lot opposite. You guys are getting me started today. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. I want everybody to get healthy and stay healthy, chat. Get healthy and stay healthy, guts and glory. All right, so the Japanese eat a lot of rice and soy. Steamed white rice and whole grains are paired with soy-based staples like tofu, miso, and fermented natto. I have no idea what natto is, guys. Vegetables and seaweed. Meals feature a wide variety of land and sea vegetables that offer essential vitamins, fiber, and natural iodine. They also drink a lot of green tea, Consumed regularly, green tea provides a high level of antioxidants that support immune health. The Japanese also eat a lot of fermented foods, guys. Miso soup, pickled items support a healthy gut microbiome. I think pickled items are pickled cucumbers fermented. Is that what this is? No, pickles are not fermented. Okay. Sorry, I'm learning this in real time too, guys. So your fermented foods are like your sauerkraut, your kombucha. Yeah, sauerkraut. I love fermented foods. I love kombucha. It is pickled, Jason. You're right. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought maybe there was a fermentation process that happens with pickles. My wife literally just pickled 35 jars of cucumbers that we grew this summer. They're all in our freaking living room, like on our kitchen table. And it's just 35 mason jars full of pickles. And I'm staring at them every day. I'm like, you got to leave these right here in the living room so I can just be mesmerized by them all year long. I'm so freaking exciting. I love homegrown, homemade pickles, especially when the wife makes it. That's the touch, guys. That's the magic touch. Hey, anybody in here, guys, thank you so much for liking the live. We have 14 likes in the live, and let's make that number say 20. And anybody subscribing this morning and joining the Guts and Glory tribe, ready to make a difference in the world, thank you guys for being here. We need you guys on our side. We need to make a difference in the world and help people become aware and inspired to make a difference in their lifestyle to get healthy, guys. And I need the information. I need your guys' knowledge. I need your motivation to make this all happen, guys. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for subscribing. We're finding out how the Japanese live so long and healthy lives, guys. So they eat a lot of fermented foods. They drink a lot of green tea. Do the Japanese cultures drink coffee? Are they not drinking coffee? Yes, people in Japanese drink a large amount of coffee. You damn right they do, guys. Everybody drinks coffee. Come on. Okay, so secrets to their long and healthy lives. What are the secrets? And by the way, why are there any secrets anymore with health and wellness? When can we reach a day and age where, like, people are not keeping secrets about these things? It needs to be well known. I don't like secrets. The biggest thing they do, guys, portion control and balance within their diet. Meals often follow a rule called hara hachibu, which is 1 soup and 3 side dishes alongside rice, served in small individual bowls rather than one large plate. So they serve things in individual bowls to kind of give the mind a different idea of how much food it's consuming. Like if you have every side in a certain dish, it makes you think, I guess, that you're eating more food and you're able to kind of portion control the way you eat it. We do the opposite in America. Guys, I haven't separated my food since I was 4 years old. You know how you used to kind of keep the ketchup off the fries and you want to keep the green beans out of the cornbread and you don't want your chicken nuggies to touch on your mashed potatoes, you know, and the gravy's pouring into the corn and that ain't no good, and your brownie is touching the... I grew up on TV dinners, man. Absolute bullshit. And they were all separated. You had the microwavable brownie right there in the middle of the tray, and the corn to the right, and the mac and cheese to the left, and then the whatever the hell that piece of steak was, that piece of chicken, that rubber damn patty. That fucking bullshit. That damn bullshit. Well, they don't do that in Japan, guys. They don't throw everything on one plate. They keep everything a little bit separate. So mindful eating, cultural practices like hara hachi bu. H-A-R-A, hachi, H-A-C-H-I-B-U. Hara hachibu. 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 Don't forget it, guys. When you sit down to eat next time, the Japanese would say, hara, hachi, bu, which means eating until you are 80% full. I'm sorry if I'm scaring away some people, guys. Hara, hachi, bu means to eat until you are 80% full. So in America, guys, we eat until we're 120% full. Even I do that. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that, guys. I eat until I'm 120% full. I eat roughly 2 meals a day, and I do not stop eating until every piece of food that is in the kitchen is in my stomach. I do that. And I'm not overweight. I feel good, but maybe I should start practicing hara hachibu, 80%. So when you have a little bit more that you're wanting off that plate, stop. Stop eating. And that doesn't mean go and eat the freaking cake, man. Hey, take care of yourself, Jason. Get healthy and stay healthy, my friend. Active daily movement. The Japanese tend to walk and cycle very often in Japanese cultures. Cycling is integrated into daily routines, keeping people mobile and active well into older age. So check this out, guys. Do most Japanese walk or bike everywhere they go? Yes, walking and bicycling are a central part of daily life in Japan, heavily combined with a world-class public transit system. So they do have like some transit systems for long distance travel. But most Japanese are walking or biking anywhere they're going, especially if they're living downtown or in close little villages and towns and things like that. They're gonna choose to walk. I saw this in the Blue Zone documentary. Even the 80-year-old grandma was walking to her grandson's house, or the older mom would walk to her daughter's house, even if it was a mile or 2 miles up the road or even further. They would just walk. They would walk for hours. If they have to go to the supermarket, if the Japanese people have to go to a supermarket, they are going to walk an hour to get there. Even if they have money for a car, it's not about that. It's about being in tune with nature and your body and moving through life. That's what it's about. Daily steps. Japanese adults average between 6,000 and 8,000 steps every day, which is much higher than in many other countries. How many steps do Americans average per day? Wow, the average American adult walks between 4,000 and 5,000 steps. So they roughly walk maybe 30% more than Americans. That's a big difference. Commuting. Walking is how people in Japan reach local train stations, schools, grocery stores, and restaurants. Guys, I don't know about you guys, but even in America, in the most dense of cities, New York, LA, Miami, whatever it might be, even in those big cities, some people walk, some young people walk. There's a lot of people that take Ubers and taxi cabs for a half mile up the road. You know what I mean? Just to go a half mile, they'll take an Uber or a taxi cab. It's just the habits that we have, and they'll pay for it, by the way, too, man. All right, so let's look at, we know what the Japanese eat. We know a little bit about their exercise routines, but let's go more into their exercise routines because I know they walk and bike. Do the Japanese have thousands of public gyms like Americans do? Like, guys, if you go anywhere in America, any street in America has a gym, right? We have to have gym memberships. We have to sign up for gyms. We have to go to the gym. We have to make it a habit in our day. How weird to think about, right? Like, humans never had to do that. The physical work was on the land that you plowed or on the animals that you took care of, wrestling a cow or a pig or butchering a lamb. Like, that was your physical work back in the day. Nowadays, we sit on our ass for 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, and we have to like pay for a building to go into to lift objects and to move our body. We drive to the gym to move our fucking body. What? What? Why don't we just run around our land and lift bricks? I don't know. Fuck, man, I don't know. Something. Climb on your roof every now and then. Change your tire. We could change tires. I bet you if you change your car tire 10 times in a row, you would get in great shape. Fuck, man, I don't know, man. What exercise routines do the Japanese cultures do consistently? I want to know what's consistent. You feel me? Okay, so here we go, guys. Remember, we're finding out why Japan is one of the top healthiest countries in the entire world. I need answers. I need answers. As an American, I need answers. Instead of heavy gym workouts, consistent daily movement in Japanese culture relies on traditional morning calisthenics. That's like the body weight stuff, the pull-ups, the push-ups, things like that. Guys, lurker call out. Anybody in the chat, come in here and give me your 2 cents, guys. Agree, disagree? What are your opinions? What are your thoughts? What are your questions? Let's look into this, guys. Let's find out why Japan is one of the healthiest countries in the entire world. I need you guys, though, to hang out, come in the chat, make a comment. If this is your first time in here, say new. If you're an OG in the Guts and Glory Show live stream, say OG. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. So what do they do, guys? What do the Japanese do to stay healthy and exercise? They do a quick 3 to 5 minute calisthenics routine. What the hell? I don't know how to pronounce that. Calisthenics routine daily on public media since the 1920s. Oh shit. So they do like a, no way. They do like a TV workout. Wow, on public TV. Oh, this is sick. Hold up. Oh, this is so cool, guys.
Radio exercise number 1. First, stand tall and stretch your whole body. 1, 2, and back down. Stretch your back. Next, arms and legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arms to the side and bend the knees. Repeat once more. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now arms revolving. First one way, then the other.
This is awesome.
Arm.
So guys, they do that every single day. They do that every single day, guys. They do that every single day. That's what the Japanese do to get healthy. That's their exercise routine. Wakes you up. Fuck, I feel good right now. I might go run a marathon. How it's done, millions of people of all ages, from school children to older adults, stretch. They circle their arms above their heads and bend rhythmically, often gathering in parks, schools, or workplaces. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. The purpose of that exercise is to boost circulation, improve joint mobility, and build a sense of community connection. Could you imagine if we did that for 5 minutes in our neighborhood, at the local park, in our backyard with our family, our cousins, nieces, nephews, kids, mother, grandmother? Fuck, these flies are crushing me today, guys. So what else they do for exercise? They do ambient daily walking and biking. We touched on that. They do natural functional postures, floor-based resting positions instead of continuous chair or sofa sitting. They don't sit on their ass, guys. 16 likes in the live stream. Make that number say 20. Let's go, Guts and Glory. Habitual use of deep squats, sitting cross-legged or kneeling in the traditional Seiza posture. The purpose is to keep hips, knees, and lower backs flexible and resilient well into old age. They do shit. They do shit, guys. Okay? So now that we've touched on their diet, the Japanese diet, now that we've touched on how Japanese cultures exercise, it's more of a body weight type thing. They don't lift a lot of heavy weights. They walk and they bicycle everywhere. Now it's important that we touch on the actual cultural differences to bring all of this together, because You can do the right exercises, you can eat the right foods, but if you're out of tune with your culture and there's no values that your culture has, your youth are not learning lessons and values, the older generations in your culture are not handing down life lessons, then none of this stuff really comes together. So it's important that we find out culturally, what do the Japanese value? Before we do that, guys, before we get to that segment, can we all hydrate? Take a little sip of water if you have water, coconut water, electrolytes, something to make you feel good and hydrated today. Take a sip of it, guys. I'm gonna do the same. Give me a second. Guys, I'm having so much fun this morning. Thank you guys for being here, guys. It is day 4, episode 4 of the Guts and Glory show. And, you know, we're talking everything health, wellness, diet, food. We're busting myths. We're coming up with like cool little things that we all can become aware about to get healthy and stay healthy. And this is only the 4th episode this week. We started on Monday. And we're having a great turnout. This is awesome. Every day we've had more and more people in here. If you guys can come into the chat section right now in the comments, say hello. If this is your first time being in this live stream, say NEW, new, so I can welcome you to the Guts and Glory tribe. Anybody pressing subscribe to the YouTube channel, thank you so much, guys. We are literally on our way to 2,000 subs on this YouTube channel. It's amazing, guys. The journey has been amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here, chat. Make sure you subscribe and come back in the chat and say subbed so I can see the newest members of the Guts and Glory tribe, guys. All right, so what do Japanese cultures, what are their values, right? What do the Japanese cultures value and prioritize the most to enable them to be the healthiest country in the world? What do they value, guys? Oh, wow. Okay, so here's a couple takeaways. We all can build this into our own cultures in America. Japan prioritizes preventative care. So they prioritize staying ahead of problems versus just fixing the problems. That kind of sounds like the opposite of what we do in America, unfortunately, guys. It seems like we don't really care to prevent any problems, but when the problems arise, we want to find quick little Band-Aid solutions. They also nutritionally balance via whole foods and daily low intense movement. So that's kind of their main values around health. Core cultural values and priorities. Again, hara hachi bu. 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 That means eating until you're 80% full. They also have a very cool saying called ikijai. Ikigai. Ikigai. I-K-I-G-A-I. Ikijai. Which means having a deep sense of purpose or a reason for getting up in the morning, which reduces stress and supports mental well-being. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your ikigai? What is your purpose in life? What is your purpose in life? I'm asking you guys. I encourage you to drop it in the comments. I want to see. And, you know, this might be a reminder, if you don't have an ikigai, a purpose in life, something that pulls you out of bed, it'd be wise. I would encourage you to get one. I would encourage you to search deep and get within your soul and find out what your purpose is. And, you know, we talked a little bit about that, I think, on the first episode, like creating your purpose and actually really just rediscovering your purpose is within your soul. It doesn't have to be something you go out and find and spend a year to find what your purpose is. It's right in front of most of us. You know, my purpose is my family first, my son. I got a 9-month-old son. I got a wife. I want that to be my purpose, to keep them healthy, keep them happy, keep them involved in life and you know, encourage them to live a good life. My purpose is to keep my own health in line as well. And my purpose is to give back to the world and help the world get healthy, and stay healthy. And that's my purpose. That's it. I don't have any, there's not 5 purposes. I just got one, man. Help my family and friends and community get healthy and stay healthy. That's my purpose. I can't have 5 purposes. Nobody can have that many purposes. The only thing that gets me out of bed is that right there. That's it. Not Star Wars, not Legos, not anything else. That's it, man. So the Japanese have purpose. They have purpose. Washoku. Washoku, another Japanese term. Washoku, a traditional approach to food focusing on fresh, seasonal, and minimally processed ingredients, heavy on fish, soy, veggies, and fermented food. So they value a lot of these things culturally. I love America, guys. As you can see, the American flag is behind me. But I can tell you, in America, I don't think we have any of those values. I don't know any American families and cultures that are going around America, and we don't have sayings for our food. We don't have sayings for our health that we abide by. But the Japanese do, and there's a reason that they're one of the healthiest countries in the world. I think we've discovered a few of those reasons this morning. And if you guys have any other last minute questions, we're going to move on to the next segment in the Guts and Glory show. But I wanted to bring some light to what one of these countries that they live longer than us. They live 85 years on average. The biggest difference, though, the key is, guys, is that they are healthy during those 85 years. That's the key. That's the weird thing about it, is like, how are they so healthy during those 85 years? Because it's one thing to live a long life. It's another accomplishment when you're healthy, living that long life. And the Japanese have figured it out without question. So we need to emulate a few of the things that they do. I think it would better us as human beings. Just saying, guys. Just saying, guys. Fat-free vegetables. Cheers, guys. Hey, the next segment is very exciting. Speaking of coffee, guys, I just finished my coffee. The next segment is, does coffee increase anxiety? Does coffee increase anxiety? How many of you guys have heard that coffee, caffeine specifically, increases anxiety? I don't know if it does. I'm not saying I know. I'm not claiming that I know about all these things. We're going to find out this morning if coffee increases anxiety. Let's make that number say 20 likes, guys. We have 18 likes in the live stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. Real quick, before we get into this, guys, the Guts and Glory show, episode number 4. If you guys are in here right now, smash that subscribe button. Is that what they say on YouTube? That's what we'll say, guys. Smash that subscribe button and come back into the chat and say subbed, so I can see the newest awesome members of the Guts and Glory tribe, guys. All right, so does coffee increase anxiety? First, we'll break down what is anxiety. Then we'll break down what does coffee do to the brain and the nervous system. We'll actually find out like what it actually does. And then we'll come up with a little verdict. We'll come up with an agreement, something we all think, today, if it's true or not. We'll kind of do like a little Mythbusters segment. So let's find out, what is anxiety? And by the way, I just want to say, before we go into the technical terms of anxiety and all these things and what's actually happening underneath the hood when we feel anxious and have panic attacks, anxiety is normal. Anxiety is normal. There's nothing wrong with you if you're anxious. There's nothing wrong with feeling your emotions. Anger, depressed, excited, happy, elated, nervous, scared, fearful. Can we all just say amen in the chat if you guys agree with that? Just amen in the chat. It seems like in America in the last 10 years, we have demonized people that feel anxious. And we've made like anxiety this whole ulterior or like alternative personality thing. Like, oh yeah, I have anxiety. Like, dude, you don't have anxiety. You feel anxious at times, and that's completely fine. That would be like getting angry and saying like, oh, that's, I'm angry. I'm an angry person. You feel anger. And you're allowed to feel angry at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and feel happy at 1 p.m. It doesn't make you bipolar or crazy or anxious or this psychopath. That's not, I'm breaking down the labels of all these fucking labels that they're trying to put on us and say that you can't be happy in the morning and sad at night, or you're bipolar. The fuck does that mean? You mean if somebody's angry in the morning, they should just be angry all day long? Or they're going to get called bipolar, they're going to get called crazy. What? What? You can be happy 1 second and you can be sad because something changed in your life an hour later. Let's stop demonizing anxiety and demonizing people having emotions and demonizing people because they switch their emotions. You're allowed to do that. Everybody wants to call, and there is a sense of like somebody having different chemicals in their brain and being a little bit shifty in their mood for no apparent reason. That is a different conversation. What I'm talking about is all the people in America that want to call everybody bipolar. That's like everybody's just calling everybody bipolar nowadays. Oh, they're bipolar, they're crazy, they're anxious, they got anxiety, they're bipolar. No, they're humans and they feel a certain way 1 minute and then they might feel a different way the next minute. My chickens are bipolar then if that's the fucking case. I got a bipolar rooster. 1 minute he's fucking a hen, the next minute he's trying to kill something. Does that mean he's bipolar or he's just a rooster? If that's the case, I got 26 bipolar chickens, guys. Because 1 minute they're eating some crickets, the next minute they're fighting and trying to bite each other's head off. There's nothing wrong with it, Barney. Thank you, guys. Thank you, man. Yeah, like Cassidy said, then they tell you that you need uppers and downers and you need all these different things in your system because you're not supposed to feel anything. They don't want you feeling anything. Oh, you're too happy. You're crazy. Why are you so energetic? Why are you so sporadic? Why are you so chaotic? You need to gather your thoughts. You're a little bit off the rails. You're unhinged. No, I'm just not afraid to let my light shine, homie. I'm just not afraid to be human, to feel this experience in life. I'm not afraid to feel it. And you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm brave enough. I'm courageous enough to show and share how I'm feeling. But they got us so boxed in, they want us afraid to be angry. They want us afraid to express ourselves. They want us afraid to crack a smile. Does coffee cause anxiety? We'll find out. So what is anxiety, guys? What is anxiety, okay? First of all, it's not bad. Anxiety is a normal human emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, coupled with physical changes like an increased heart rate, sweaty palms, these panic attack feelings that we get, guys. The physical symptoms of anxiety consist of rapid heartbeats, fast breathing, sweating, trembling, or muscle tightness. How many of you guys have ever felt anxiety come on? Or felt anxious or felt like a panic attack? Say me in the chat. Let's get some me's in the chat if you've ever felt anxious in your life. If I could type in the chat, I would say me right now. Of course I feel anxious. I would feel anxious every day. Anybody does. Every human being feels anxiety every single day of their life. And you always will. The other symptoms can be mental, guys. Excessive worrying, trouble concentrating, a sense of restlessness, or feeling on edge. Behavioral symptoms, avoiding situations or triggers that make you feel nervous. Okay, so here's, before we get into does coffee increase anxiety in people? Barney said, if we don't recognize our emotions, we can't deal with them. Amen. But they don't want us to recognize our emotions. They're at the point now, Barney, where they don't even want us to feel the emotions. They don't, because the moment that we start becoming emotionless is the moment they can walk us into the slaughter locker easily. We just go right in like blind sheep. Like blind sheep, walk right into the slaughterhouse. But if we feel anger, if we feel happiness, if we feel our emotions, then we're much harder to control. You understand? All right, guys, treatment and support. According to the internet, the very most common defense to anxiety today is psychotherapy, talk therapy, psychotherapy, brain therapy. The second one is medication. This is what is so fucked up with the world, guys, and I'm just being honest, guys. The very first two treatments to anxiety is psychotherapy. The number two is medication, options prescribed by a healthcare provider such as, you guessed it, antidepressants. So you have somebody come into a doctor, you know, a young, let's just say a young girl going through a breakup, going through a hard time, maybe looking in the mirror and not being so happy with what she sees, just giving examples, guys. And she goes to a therapist and says, hey, I'm feeling a little bit anxious to go outside, to go to school, you know, to present myself in front of other boys. I got my heart broken. You know, I'm going through physical changes in life. And what's the number two thing the doctor does after having a quick conversation with that girl? She says, hey, I'm going to write something on this little pad right here and send it into the, the pill center. And we're going to have a little dose of something you could take that could help you with all these things. You don't have to do anything. You ain't got to do nothing. It'll fix all of it, right? You won't feel a thing. You won't feel that anxiety anymore. You won't feel that anger, that sadness. You won't feel that nervousness that you've always felt. But you know what happens when you don't feel anger, nervousness, upset? You know what happens when you don't feel those negative emotions anymore? You don't feel the good emotions either. You don't feel the emotions of accomplishment and excitement and happiness. You can't silence just negative emotions. You have to silence all the emotions. We got a lot of numb people walking around in America right now, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. We do not need to be numbed. We need to be enlightened, invigorated, motivated, inspired, not numbed. We do not need to be numbed. Guys, the number three option for anxiety, that they say, is lifestyle changes. So regular exercise, healthy sleep habits, and relaxation techniques. Why is that number three? Why is that number three? Why is that the number three option? Did you hear me? That's fucked up. Okay.
What?
So does coffee cause anxiety? So what is in coffee that actually causes anxiety? What is the physical changes that occur? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got for me?
They had decaf espresso beans.
Oh shit.
So I got a huge one and it was kind of expensive.
They didn't have any?
They had the big one. They didn't have the small one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a big one and it was kind of expensive.
How many pounds? Are you talking like gigantic? Hang on.
I mean, the big bag at the bottom of the shelf.
Okay, but like how many pounds? So my wife just went to this coffee shop to get us some coffee, guys. Oh, Barney, thank you, man, thank you. And listen, five? Oh God, Cass, that's gonna take us a month.
Yeah, but now we don't have to go.
All right. We got coffee for a month. Hi, I'm not against medicine, guys. I'm just, man. You know, I'm somebody who's had chronic illness for 16 years. And I've been in this, this is the reason I talk about these things, is not because I'm somebody who's never been involved in it. I'm not a doctor. I am not a scientist. I'm just a regular human being who has fought every ounce of my entire life for 16 years.
since I was a kid, man, to be healthy and feel good. And I've been through I've been through the system for 16 years. And I've felt more like a lab rat in these 16 years than I ever could imagine. Pill after pill after pill after pill, dose after dose, scan after scan. And there's a lot of things wrong with the system. And it wasn't until I finally said, hey man, I'm gonna do what feels good with my intuition. I'm gonna listen to my brain, listen to my gut a little bit. And it wasn't until I did that I finally feel amazing for 10 years. Like I started to become a little bit more independent with my health and the foods that I ate. I started to test things on my own. And I think there's a great place in this world for modern medicine and modern things like this. But we cannot forget as human beings that we know our body best. We know our body best. I don't know Joe down the street, Ashley on YouTube. I don't know you got your bodies, but I know my body. I know a lot of what I need to feel good and the things that I can do to make myself feel better. It's almost like we've lived with our body for decades and 50, we've had our body for a while, man. I've been in this body for a long time. But they make us second guess our intuition. And they try to strip us of thinking that we don't know our own body. And yes, the experts, the professionals, the smart people in this world have a definite role in this entire thing. I'm not knocking that. They have a role in helping us get healthy. But we have just been stripped of our own ability to have any idea what's going on in our body. And that needs to change. Nari said stress medication isn't good. It's a disaster. I don't know, guys. I don't know, chat. So what is in coffee that actually causes anxiety? The question we're breaking down right now is, does coffee cause anxiety? It's a big question that goes on. A lot of people, feel that way. I can understand where it's coming from. And I would say this, if I drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee in a day, I feel anxious. I feel pretty, we're having the conversation, Barney. I feel pretty anxious with when I drink coffee. You guys want to go in the direction of coffee, or do we want to go just towards general anxiety? Because we can keep having this conversation in this lane, and we can stress this for a little bit longer, or we can continue talking about coffee. Where do you guys want to go? General anxiety conversation, or we can go coffee and what coffee actually does to cause anxiety. I'm fine with calling an audible right now. I'm cool with calling an audible right now, guys, because I love this conversation. I really do. All right. We'll bounce back and forth. We'll stay on track, but we'll talk about where things sit with the whole anxiety conversation. Because it is such a tragedy that how much we have demonized humans and our emotions and made us question why we feel emotions. Like the fact that modern media and the fact that modern media has made us think twice and think that we're bad people for having emotions is like, that needs to be studied. That needs to be fucking studied. Yeah, the flies are everywhere, guys. They are everywhere. If you guys see me get attacked on screen, it's the flies, man. There's like 100 flies in this garage. So guys, listen. Caffeine is the primary chemical in coffee that causes anxiety by triggering your body's natural fight or flight stress response. What does caffeine do and how does it cause anxiety in people? Blocks adenosine. Adenosine is a brain chemical that helps you calm down and sleep. Caffeine blocks it, keeping your brain on high alert. Boosts stress hormones. Caffeine tells your adrenal glands to release adrenaline and cortisol, which we know cortisol kind of is like that, what is that? That's the chemical that makes you, or that's the stress chemical, right? The stress chemical. These are the main hormones your body uses to react to danger. So if you're in danger, your cortisol is going to be up, guys. The physical changes that occur after drinking caffeine. Heart rate, your heart beats faster and harder. You might feel your chest pounding or skipping a beat. Blood pressure, your blood vessels narrow. This pushes your blood pressure higher. Breathing, your airways open up. You start to breathe faster and shallower. Muscles, your muscles tighten up to get ready for action. This causes shaking hands and your overall body jitters. Fuck, I need some caffeine right now. I feel like I'm gonna go hunt a lion. Holy shit, this is what coffee does? I just drank my coffee and I'm ready to fuck. I'm ready to fuck. God dang, man, I'm ready to go, guys. Stomach, blood flows away from your digestive tract and toward your muscles. Yeah, Barney, me too, man. I love some coffee in the morning. First of all, guys, I'm a young male. I'm 28 years old, and I wake up pretty bricked up in the morning already. Within 5 minutes of waking up, I am ready to. I'm ready. I'm ready, guys. And then you layer in a double shot of espresso coffee. Like, right now, you're getting the best version of me. I'm like, dude, oh man, I don't know if I want to run a marathon or make a second baby right now. You understand? You understand? All right, baby. Sweating, your sweat glands activate to cool down a body that thinks it's running from danger. So basically what the deal is, when you drink caffeine, you drink coffee, it puts your body in a similar physiological state as running a marathon, jumping on stage, tackling a lion, and making love to your spouse. That's what a cup of coffee does. So, I think it depends a lot on what you're doing. And if you guys agree, tell me. If you don't, tell me. But if you're drinking coffee and you're just sitting on your sofa and, for some people, I don't feel this, but I think I can see where some people are coming from with this. If you're drinking coffee and you're just sitting on your sofa and you start to feel like a lion running through a jungle, getting chased by 5 elephants and 3 guys with long rifles, I can understand why you feel a little bit anxious. I can understand. I'm on the side that I do believe personally that coffee can cause anxiety in people. I don't think that's really untrue because I personally felt a little bit more anxious if I drink 3 cups of coffee in a morning. I'll be like, shit, man. If I hear something outside, I'm looking through the blinds and I'm getting a little bit worked up, man. I'm ready to tackle something. So that would qualify as anxiety, right? You feel nervousness, you feel excitement, you feel worry, all these things that group together is anxiety. And really at the end of the day, anxiety, let's just be fucking honest, guys. Anxiety is just a bunch of emotions all happening at once, and they call that anxiety. The labels on shit is just ridiculous these days. The labels on people and their personalities and what they're feeling, and then they use the labels to demonize it and say, oh, that person has anxiety. That person has bipolar. That person is crazy. Oh, he's angry. When you put a lion in a cage in a zoo and they act up, it's a lion. When you put a human under stressful situations and they're boxed in and labeled and sit in a cubicle all day long when we're made to fucking hunt and fuck. That's what we're made to do. Hunt, kill shit, and fuck. And laugh. And laugh. That's what we're made to do, guys. And when we don't do that, when we're not laughing, dancing, fucking, or killing something, we get anxious. We get anxious. I don't know about you guys, but when I drink coffee, and I'm doing shit and I'm actually out and about doing stuff in the world, you know, you're running around. Maybe when we do farm chores in the morning, early in the morning, I'll have a cup of coffee. I'll let the chickens out. I'll tend to the garden. I'll feed the sheep. You know, I'll fix a gate, fix a fence, do something on the farm. When I'm drinking my coffee, I don't feel anxious. I don't feel restlessness. I don't feel nervousness. I don't feel all the typical emotions. When I'm doing something, when I'm active. When I'm drinking coffee and I'm sitting on my couch in the living room, which is like never, that's never where I drink my coffee. But if I am, or if I'm in a car drinking coffee and not doing anything, then I'll feel a little bit anxious. I'll feel those things. So I think with coffee, with caffeine, what is the reason people feel anxious when drinking coffee? And could this be solved by physically or mentally being more active while drinking it? That's my question. It does wake you up. And if you're not doing things when you have that sense of alertness and energy, then it's kind of like a useless thing and you're just going to spiral in your head. That's my assumption with it. You know? Barney said, start your own coffee brand. Guts and Glory Coffee is what we'll call it, Barney. And by the way, W's in the chat, guys. W's in the chat. You guys have been, this is our best episode yet. You guys have been so engaging and supportive and like fun to hang out with this morning. Thank you guys so much, man. This is episode 4 of the Guts and Glory Show. We're going to do this Monday through Thursday. It's the last day this week that we'll have the show. We'll be back on Monday. And if you guys want to give input or advice or anything to this show, join the Discord. I highly encourage you to join the Discord. There's a link on this YouTube bio. It's the very first link. We've got over 85 people in the Discord. We got them from TikTok Live. You guys are coming from the YouTube Lives. You're coming from all over social media, and I thank you guys for being in there. But if you have advice for the show, if you have things that you want us to talk about and go into deep dive investigations about, drop it in the Discord and let me know in there, and we can go back and forth, and maybe we can have those subjects be on the next show, guys. Thank you all for being here. Episode 4. Having fun, guys. All right, so what is the reason people feel anxious when drinking coffee and how to solve it? People feel anxious when drinking coffee because caffeine triggers stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, and physical or mental activity only helps with mild jitters rather than fixing the root cause. Right, it's not going to fix the root cause, but it's going to give that energy somewhere to be put to use. You know what I mean? Neri, have a good day, Neri. Have a good day. Why coffee causes anxiety? We kind of went over that a little bit. Can physical activity help? Light movement does help the caffeine anxiety. A short walk burns off extra physical energy and adrenaline. Hard exercise hurts, is what the assumption is on the internet. Intense workouts raise your heart rate even higher and can make anxiety worse. I disagree. When I do a good workout 30 minutes after a cup of coffee, it's an amazing, amazing time. So different people, different strokes, different folks. Timing matters. Moving around works best if you feel restless, but it will not stop the chemical reaction in your brain. But it does help. So it's not going to stop it, but it does help, guys. Can mental activity help with coffee-induced anxiety? Yes, it provides distraction. Focusing on a simple task keeps your mind off the physical jitters, adds stress. Doing hard mental work while caffeinated can increase your overall stress and tension. So it can kind of have a double-edged sword effect. It does speed up thoughts. Caffeine can make your mind race, making concentration difficult. I disagree. For me, caffeine gets my mind very active and it's able to put focus on one specific task or conversation. So it's free to disagree. It's free to disagree. So, you know, does coffee cause anxiety? I think the verdict is probably yes in certain people for sure. I do think that it depends on the amount of coffee, and it also depends on what you're doing while you're drinking the coffee. You know, it depends on those things highly. So that's the verdict. I'm not going to stop drinking coffee. I love coffee. There's lots of benefits for me. If you drink too much coffee, then obviously you might not feel too good. If you drink too much beer, you might not feel too good either. It doesn't mean that these things are absolutely terrible for us. Everything in moderation. And coffee is the shit. Amen. Guys, last segment of the Guts and Glory show. We are going to get into, we try to end on a positive note. We try to end on some things that can be actionable steps that we can take to be a little bit healthier in our life. And I try to bring some things, some habits that you guys may not know about, and cool little things, little additions and actionable items that we can all take in our life to be healthier. So the third part of the show, guys, we have, a lot of you guys may know, you may not know, one of the most original, ancient, time, classic, proven ways to cook food. Your great-grandma probably cooked her food this way. Your great-great-great-grandma probably cooked her food this way. I can tell you the Japanese cultures are cooking their food in this manner. And me and my wife have been cooking our food in this manner for the last 6 years. And it is cooking your food in a cast iron pan. Cast iron cookware. God's greatest invention. One of the greatest things we've ever had, guys. Cast iron. Cast iron. How many of you guys have a cast iron pan in your kitchen? We have, I think, 15 now. We have muffin pans that are cast iron. We have, every cast iron pan in the world. We have a cast iron wok. A wok. A cast iron wok bowl. It's like the hibachi bowl. It's like 30 pounds of cast iron, and we freaking love it, guys. So let's talk a little bit about it. The history of the cast iron pan. How long has a cast iron pan been alive? Cast iron cookware dates back to the 5th century BC China. Oh my God. I did not know it went back that far. I thought it went back like 100 years. Oh, this goes back to ancient times. Evolving from heavy earth cauldrons into modern flat bottom kitchen staples. So apparently it started with like a big old piece of cast iron, right? Or iron, right? So there's been manufacturing breakthroughs by inventors like Abraham Darby and mass production by iconic American foundries. So America really, as it does most things, it took an ancient, awesome invention and we just made it popular. We made it mainstream. We made it available to every single household in America. That's kind of what the evolution of cast iron has been. Ancient origins and early European use of cast iron pans. Ancient China, 5th century BCE. Innovators developed early blast furnaces and utilized sand molds to cast molten iron, primarily making durable tools, weapons, and eventually cooking vessels. So casting iron into certain shapes for things, whether it's tools, whether it's weapons, furniture pieces, decorative pieces, but also cooking appliances as well. So it's got multiple uses. Eventually it spread from China to Europe. Casting methods gradually migrated west along trade routes. So of course when they would trade tools, foods, they would also bring cast iron pans with them. Early European pots featured 3 legs and handles to sit directly inside open hearth fires. The Dutch innovation. Dutch metalworkers perfected a method of casting finer, cleaner molds in sand, giving birth to the thick-walled design still recognized as the classic Dutch oven. We have 2 cast iron Dutch ovens that we cook with probably 2 to 3 days a week, and it's amazing. It's amazing. The Industrial Revolution and the sand casting patent. So now we're moving from Europe and more in Dutch and more into America and how we popularized the cast iron pan. Abraham Darby in 1707, an English metallurgist, a metal guy, patented a breakthrough process for refining coal into coke, allowing blast furnaces to run hotter, cheaper, and larger, and then eventually that allowed them to make thin-walled vessels. Darby's technique allowed iron to be cast much thinner and lighter, making mass production of commercial cookware viable across Europe and colonial America. The American Golden Age for cast iron. So now we're like really into America. Hearth to cook stove transition happened around the mid-19th century. Okay, so I was right. So around like 60, 70 years ago, 1950s, 1800s, sorry. As wood and coal burning kitchen stoves replaced open hearths, cookware designs shifted from leg and bale pots to flat bottom skillets. So now we're laying them on top of a stovetop. Legendary foundries around the 20th century, American companies like Lodge Cast Iron, that's the one that we always use, guys. Griswold and Wagner Manufacturing began producing smooth, highly polished, heirloom quality cast iron. So now we're in America using Lodge Cast Iron brands and things like that, guys. Modern resurgence. So apparently in the last 20 years, Lodge introduced factory pre-seasoned cast iron, removing the initial oil-based seasoning barrier for everyday home cooks. Guys, cast iron is the freaking way to cook everything. Let me share with you guys the benefits of cooking in cast iron pans. So why is this guy saying cook with cast iron? Here's why. Cast iron skillets offer exceptional heat retention. They have superior heat retention. Cast iron holds high temperatures extremely well, meaning the pan does not cool down when you add cold food. This makes it ideal for achieving a deep, flavorful sear on meats. Guys, I have seared ribeyes on non-stick cookware. I have seared ribeyes on stainless steel. I have seared ribeyes on cast iron. Every single time, cast iron is number one. It puts a beautiful sear on steaks, on everything, and it stays hot throughout the entire cooking process. Nareem said people in the Mediterranean, including France, drink a lot of coffee. Yes, I'm sure they do. Barney said, I heard some metals can be poison. I don't know. Let's look into the leaching of metals on cookware, because cast iron leaches iron into the food. I know that's a fact. But non-stick cookware leaches a lot of bullshit into food as well, like little paint chips and all these crazy things, which is why we cook in cast iron. Lifelong durability. Unlike traditional non-stick pans that scratch and wear out over a few years, cast iron is virtually indestructible and often improves with age. It gets smoother. Some of our pans that we've had for over 5 years now are smooth as butter on the bottom. Like, they're so much easier to cook with now than when we first bought it. So it gets better with time, where most non-stick, crappy, cheap, quote unquote healthy pans get worse every single time you use them. That's a fact. I've seen it in my experience for sure. Natural non-stick surface. Regular seasoning of cast iron pans creates a chemical-free, smooth non-stick coating that gets better with more use. Amen. Stovetop and oven versatility. You can easily move a cast iron from the stovetop, so you can cook on top of a fire, you can cook on a stovetop, and you can put it in the oven and let it get 550 degrees in the oven. You can't do that with non-stick. You can't do that with a lot of other pans. Cast iron has multiple uses. The biggest thing for cast iron, the biggest reason we switched to cast iron, guys, was the dietary iron addition from cast iron. Believe it or not, cast iron will leach iron at small little amounts into your food, which, in my opinion, as somebody who lacks iron, I'm not anemic. My iron levels are normal, but with Crohn's disease, sometimes iron can be a little bit low. You have to make a conscious effort to increase the iron that you eat in your diet, which is why we eat beef liver, we eat a lot of red meat, we eat a lot of chicken hearts, chicken livers, rabbit livers that we raise up, rabbit hearts that we raise up. We eat all the organ meat from all the animals that we raise up. We eat all of it. And spinach and things like that that are high in iron. But we also cook in cast iron, which is constantly leaching tiny little iron fragments into our food. And it might be weird, but I'm cool with it, guys. I'm cool with it. So, that's cast iron is a very interesting way to cook. But let me finish with this, guys. I know cast iron is very hard for beginners. A lot of people will get a cast iron pan and use it for like a week and then say, this is impossible to cook. There's a few things you have to do when you cook on a cast iron pan to make it easy, to make it efficient, and make it a smooth, fun experience for you. And actually cook good food as well. Cast iron, so here's I have a few takes, but we'll also go on these things. Essential cooking rules. Lower the heat. Cast iron holds heat very well, so you rarely need high heat. Medium to low heat is usually enough. So it takes a long time to heat up. I would let the cast iron pan sit in the oven or sit on the stove top for 10 or 15 minutes before you drop any food on it. It needs time to heat evenly and get the entire pan hot. Once it's hot, it stays hot. It doesn't cool off for like an hour. Like it just holds temperature perfectly throughout the cooking process. Use oil and fat. You have to use oil and fat. Always add a bit of butter, olive oil, bacon fat to help brown food and build a non-stick coating. Fat and oil and butter is your friend when you're cooking in a cast iron pan. If you don't have any fat on the food, if you're not using fatty cuts of ribeye, fatty cuts of ground beef, or fatty fish, your food's gonna stick like crazy. It's gonna stick. So those of you that are cooking in cast iron and you're like, everything sticks to the fucking pan, I need my non-stick back, it's because you got no grease, you got no fat in the food that you're cooking on the cast iron pan. You can't throw down a fillet and think it's gonna be a good process. It's just gonna stick to the pan and just rip it up. Like eggs in a cast iron pan without grease, gonna be a bad example, man. It's gonna be a bad experience. Don't touch the food. Number 3, do not touch the food once it hits a cast iron pan, period. Let the food sit undisturbed to build a good sear and release naturally from the pan. I just cooked a steak 2 days ago, a ribeye, the best ribeye I've ever cooked. One of them was amazing. It was 1.5 pound ribeye. Drop it on the cast iron. Let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. Let it sear. It's gonna be hot. Once that steak kind of releases off the pan and it stops sticking to the pan, you check that sear and you flip it back over and there's nothing stuck to the bottom of the cast iron. It's gonna be a great time. Your food's gonna be amazing. So that's the rule, guys. You don't need too much heat. You need oil and fat on the cast iron. Don't touch the food and cook everything in cast iron. Let me know how it goes, guys. Go buy a little cheap cast iron, 30 bucks, get you a little cast iron pan. It may just be the last pan you ever have to buy. Guts and Glory. That's episode 4 of the Guts and Glory show, guys. Thank you guys for being here, chat. Thank you guys for being here, guys. I hope you guys have a healthy day. Hope you guys are well. And remember, anybody that's subscribing to the page or to the channel, come into the chat and say subbed every single time. That's the rule, guys. Let me know when you sub so I can welcome you to Guts and Glory Tribe. And thank you for being here, guys. What a freaking awesome time. Hope you guys have a good weekend, a healthy weekend. Get healthy, go out, walk a little bit, eat some healthy food, try something from the Japanese culture. Harahachi-bu, 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 harahachi-bu. Anyways, love you guys. Guts and Glory, Guts and Glory, Guts and Glory. I will see you next time on the Guts and Glory show. We fired up Monday morning. We will see you guys. And we're going to have some awesome things to talk about. Get in the Discord, though, and give me some tips, some advice, some information, some conversation points that you guys want to talk about next time. Have a wonderful day. Shalimar, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, guys. I hope that was fun. If that was fun, say fun in the chat. Give me some feedback. If that was lame, if that was boring, say that in the chat. I don't care, guys. I'm tough enough to handle it. But let me know what you guys thought of episode 4 in the Guts and Glory show while I take a bite of my homemade muffin. Hang on, guys. Oh my God.